Here we are, Tuesday evening, 8:30, Advice for Life with Al Laws and
Aisha.
Aisha. Y'all know Aisha. This is my beautiful wife of 25 years, or going on 25 years. And we do this every Tuesday evening. We come to you with advice for your life. We do this for you. And so what's beautiful about the dynamic and the form in which we've created is that you get to come on with us. You get on this ride with us. You give us feedback. You give us comments. You give your insights as we share our insights. And we really aim to really bless you, to improve every area of relationship in your life,
Yes.
whether it's with your children, your parents, your significant other, especially in the difficulties of marriage. We've gone through some test of time. I mean,
Yes.
we've experienced some things, and those things that we've experienced, we bring those and lend those back to you. And so we look forward to having you with us. And I'm just trying to check my technology to make sure there we go. And so as you, the beautiful thing is that when you come on, and I see some of my beautiful folks coming on, I have a whole array of people who come on every week, and hopefully you can do that, but if not, you can always view us. People tell me all the time when I'm going out that it really blessed them. They weren't able to be with us live, but they listened to it afterwards. But
Yeah.
it's always nice to have you live. And so we have plenty of shows. I just want you to know that you can see us and view us on our website, which is www.advice4life.us. Again, that's www. I see those hearts. I see that love coming up. Let me turn up my mic. I hope you can hear. And make sure I did this right, babe. I didn't even test that. Okay. Make sure my mic is right.
Can you guys hear us? Looks like we're getting
Yep.
thumbs up.
Thumbs up. Thumbs up with good sound. Great, 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 great. So remember, you can get us on the website. The website is a powerful way for you to connect with us. Go on the YouTube channel. We're running a contest. As many views as you can get on there, and as many shares as you can get on there. The winner is going to win $100, which commemorates our 100th show that we did. Actually, 2 weeks ago, we did 100 shows on there. So we're really blessed, and I see a lot of my regulars coming on. I'm gonna get to you guys in a minute. And listen, follow me on my YouTube channel. Mm-hmm. I'm going to go into a whole series. My wife is going to join me at different segments, and we are going to be talking about finances and how to relate to your finances.
Important.
Yep. Now, I mean, I always say that, people get moved by money. So that's all right. If this moves you to get insight, you're going to get some wisdom, some insight, some principles coming from somebody who hasn't just talked about the principles of money, but we as a couple have lived those principles, and God has blessed us from living those principles. And I tell you, you will get some insight if you do that. But remember, you got to follow me. If you don't follow me, you're not going to get the whole portion. You'll just get clips. You'll get portions of it, but that's going to be for my followers. So follow me on YouTube and follow me on Facebook as well. And if you follow me, you'll be sure to be notified when I come up, and only my followers will get those notifications, and you will know. So you go on Al Laws Jr. on YouTube and Al Laws Jr. on Facebook. But remember, I always say share, it's fair.
Yes.
It's only fair. Every Tuesday we sacrifice to come to you to give you the word of wisdom and give you from our hearts what we believe will bless your life. So hit that share button in the left-hand corner of your device. Hit that share and share it out to all your folks. Now, I'm telling you, we had a testimony last week. One of the people who were with us shared it to a young couple.
Yes.
Who came on and said, "Oh my God, I did not know something like this even existed." Mm-hmm. And so they were so excited and so blessed by, just by that whole dynamic. So I'm so grateful for you sharing, because that sharing allowed us to be able to bless somebody who says that they're going to tune in every week and that they believe that this is going to help their marriage. And so that's really a blessing. I heard a testimony with somebody about one of their children and how they applied the skills and the principles with one of their children, and how powerful it was for them to be able to do that. So, thank God.
Yes.
So thank y'all, my check-in people with the loud and clear, and you let me know that you can hear me, because we have a different setup this week. My brother Greg, my producers, and Galen are off today. So everything you get in here is fresh from me and Aisha setting it up. And some people say, y'all set it up better than the other people, but I don't know. You gotta let me know. You gotta let me know how my sound is coming through. I hope my picture's right. I was close to being right on time. So that's what I'm always shooting for. So I love you guys. Baby, what you got to say about?
Hi.
Yeah. So last week we were talking a lot about the love languages, and we're going to do some more about love languages. As I've told you, my wife is a perennial master at love. Her name means love person, both in Spanish and
No, that's Japanese.
not Japanese. And what is the other one?
In Arabic, you mean?
Arabic. Yeah,
That means life.
it means life. But you had love person. I thought it was in two.
Love person is Japanese.
Japanese. I thought it was another love person. Anyway, you the love person. She the love person. I see the thumbs up and the hearts. Those of you who know her and know how she connects. It's a blessing. Remember, those of you who are listening, and I know you're out there because I see it every time I get done. We don't know you're there unless you shout out. Let us know you're there. Let us know that you're supporting us, because sometimes when you're doing something on a consistent basis, you're not sure whether it's really blessing people, whether they still want you to do it. They want you to just take a long vacation. Like, we can stop for a while if y'all want us to stop. I mean, I'm just saying it's important for us to know that we're getting and making the connection with everybody who is there. So we were talking about love languages, and there were some powerful things that happened. But babe, I'm going to check in with a couple people as we went in. I see, James Joe Bean.
James Joe Bean.
He was first one that tapped in this time. Mark Gibson. Wow, Mark, that's from Pennsylvania. I think that's the same Mark Gibson I grew up with. Hey, Mark, good to see you, brother. Angela, who's a regular.
Hi,
Andrea,
Angela.
mom, who's a regular.
Hey, Mom.
Deborah Allen checked in. I also see April Johnson. Hey, April, good to see you.
April.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And then Stacy. Yeah.
Hi.
So we got both Stacys. So we got Stacy Gopal,
Oh, yeah.
and then we got Stacy Everett, and y'all came right up after each other. That's very
That's
powerful.
right, yeah.
Good to have you guys in there. And then we have let's see. I think that Noni. You see that they're in town or still in New
Noni.
York. Noni, thank you for joining in again. Let all the people know. Remember, share is fair. Hit your share button in the left-hand corner of your device. Tracy, I see you too. And just shout it out to everybody so they know that you're here. You're listening to Advice for Life. It will bless their life. I'm going to check in with you. Remember, make comments to one another. Make comments about what we're saying. Give some advice. Give some experiences that you have and questions. Because I do have one question that was given last week by Nadira. And so I'm going to take a shot at responding to that. And then we're going to get into the love languages thing. So, the love languages. Ooh, I can't turn this off then I can't see, right?
No, you can't.
I did that wrong. Thank you, baby. The love languages, as I shared with you, is not my original material, but I think it was brilliantly done. And what I love about it is that if you take the 5 love languages and take the general concept of those 5, and then you understand how a person responds and how they receive love. Because in our model, in the family strengthening model, we talk about giving and receiving love.
Right.
So you have to learn and know how people give and how they receive love. And it's a very powerful thing. Now, if you take those 5 love languages and then you connect with the skills and the awareness and the insights that we're giving you through the family strengthening that we're giving you here on Advice for Life, you got a powerful, powerful combination.
Yes.
Because if I'm aware and understand what your love language is. And that's, I mean, and we do this with our children. I do this with my staff and my employees. If you understand how people receive love to them, look, that's unique to them. This is how they get down with their love. And you can't change that. You can't change that people get down a certain way in their love. And when you are able to understand it, and then you are able then to know their awareness wheel, what understanding their intentions, their thoughts, their feelings, and connect that to that behavior, and you understand your awareness, your intentions, your thoughts, your feelings, and how that connects to your behavior. And then you have all the other skills that we're teaching you, finding the good, showing understanding, all these things that we've been teaching you over the last year or so. When you connect that skill set with understanding the 5 love languages, I'm telling you, it is powerful. So if you, I can't go back on everything, but you can go on our website. That's advice4life.us, and you can get every video. We got podcasts you can listen to at any time. Listen, it will bless you. So the context has been, let us give you the love languages. And so we started talking about the 5, and the first was touch, quality time,
words of
affirmation, acts of service, and what's the last? Gifts. So those 5 constructs are very powerful. They're simple, easy to remember. I didn't do a good job remembering just now, but they are easy to remember, and connected to the skills that we're going to teach you. And I'm going to go in depth with this. It's going to, we really going to break it down. So last week the question was, between all these love languages, can you have a different love language for different people? That was the question. Can I say I have two love languages? My love language is touch and words of affirmation. Can that be different for different people? So as I thought about it, and I'm not saying, I'm not writing the complete manual on this, but as I thought about it, I said, you have a baseline of the way you receive love. And I think it's independent of who the person is, because it's dependent on how you're built and how you're made up, and how you're constructed as a person. However, I think that you can, because let me first say this, everybody needs all 5 of the love languages. So don't, it's just what degree you need them. So everybody needs to be touched. Everybody needs words of affirmation. Everybody needs somebody to give them a gift to in some kind of way at different times. All of us have aspects of those 5 languages. All of us need them. But the love languages really try to show you what is your predominant love language. What is the predominant thing you are in? So I think that predominant piece is always the same, irregardless of the person and even the situation. But there are situations where the expression of love language you might experience it different and almost expect it different from different people. So there might be certain people in your life, even though your love language may not be gifts, but if you get gifts from certain people, it means more to you. And you even might be in certain circumstances with that person, or like, for instance, if you go to Christmas time, don't be kidding yourself. You expecting some type of gift. Like if you got no gift on Christmas, like you figure you don't got no friends, no family, like you feel X'd out if you don't get a gift. So you might not care about gifts all the rest of the year, but for the Christmas season, and let me check this out. If I don't get a gift from my wife, now, I don't care. It don't have to be a material gift. It might just be, baby, I love you. Merry Christmas. I'm kissing you, acknowledging you on Christmas. If I don't get I'm expecting a gift. Now, I'm not even a gift person like that. But for my wife, at that moment, that experience, that time with that person, all the other people around me, I don't care whether you give me a gift or not. I could care less. It don't make no difference to me.
Don't matter to me.
So that's just my scenario as we lead into the languages. I've talked more than my share. And so I'm going to let my beautiful, insightful wife kind of jump in wherever she want to jump in.
I love what you shared about utilizing the skills to manifest love in the languages.
Right.
And I think that's really powerful because especially with words of affirmation being really like encouragement for someone.
Right.
I think that is very useful. You can use the skills of joining. You can use so many of our family strengthening skills can be utilized for the love languages.
Absolutely. I think they're essential for you to see. I think that the skills help you navigate through the ups and downs of interaction.
Yeah.
And the love languages tell you where to land. Go there, land there. But the navigation, you need another set of skills to do that. Yes.
Right. And so when you're utilizing someone's love language, and you know that that's what they speak, that's their love speak.
Right.
When you know that, when you know that, and you are really encouraging them to release the love that's inside of them. A lot of times, what happens with people in love, they will hold back who they are and the love that is really inside, so
Right.
they won't feel vulnerable.
Right.
And when you're not dealing with them with the proper love language, they don't feel safe to release the love that really exists inside of them.
Nice.
So it's important that you speak the language so that they open the door and allow you to come in and feel safe with you.
You do feel safer when somebody speaks your language because it connects to you. It has a resonance to you.
Absolutely.
And for you. So when I go to another country, if nobody is speaking English, I feel discombobulated. I feel uncertain. And I'm more judgmental about the people. I'm less trusting with the people. I'm like, somebody better speak my language. I need some. Can you speak it English? That's what I'm doing. I'm like I'm searching for somebody who speaks my language. And it's funny when I find somebody, I naturally, when they can speak my language, I think they're very intelligent because they can speak 2 languages. I think I trust them more. I think it's like, I know I can explain something that has nuances to it. And if they really speak English well, then I know that I'm communicating really what's in my heart and in my mind.
That's
and
right.
It's not being misinterpreted by this person who can't speak my language.
That's right. I love that because, I love languages. And when I go to another nation and I speak their language, they invite me in. They want me to come to their home.
True story.
They invite you in because you cared enough to learn how to speak to them properly.
Right.
And that's just exactly what this is. Caring enough to learn how to speak to the one that you care for properly.
Right. So I mean, when we were talking last time, baby, we were on touch.
Yes.
Which I felt like you had a lot more to say in that, since that's your love language. And so I'm gonna give a little piece of mine, and then I want you to give some more about touch. So touch is one of the love languages, and look at my video from our video from last week, and we were talking about how people that have a love language of touch can be misunderstood, and they can be labeled in ways that are really not truly who they really are, because they feel love, and a lot of times they will also try to express their love through touch. Okay. And so they can get a bad name. Now, what I said last week that carries over to all the languages, you cannot use your love language as an excuse to be out of bounds or be off balance.
Right.
Because if I have a love language of touch, but I got to touch, got to touch every time, I have no boundaries on my touch, then it's going to irritate anybody. Right. Because it's not irritating to you, because that's the way you show love. So with every love language, it's like, even if your love language is quality time, But if you don't give that other person time to be by themselves and to have a chance to think with themselves, pray by themselves, if every time they try to get time alone, because you claim in your mind your love language is quality time, so you've had that. Some of y'all have that experience where the person won't give you no space.
That's not really quality time. That's quantity.
That's quantity time, right? That's quantity. Yeah, I like that. So if you're out of balance, you're doing quantity time and not quality time.
Exactly.
So don't use your love language as an excuse to be out of balance. But I did want to. This was the other thing that I had about touch. Like, touch has this thing, and I'm gonna take it from both perspectives, because I think it doesn't matter whether it's male or female. If you get out of balance with touch, those people have to really be careful, because in our society we created an array, a world, a message that really deals with people around how things that's very sexually explicit. Everything. If you buy a piece of bubble gum, they're showing you something sensual, sexual, which for us, most of us, that relates to coming to a place of touching. It goes through our eye gate, comes in our ear gate. Every song you listen to is talking about somebody trying to get something, give something. It don't matter. We got all these.
They're all touching.
They touching. They lead to touching. So touching in its purest form is beautiful. Is a person who has a gift of touching is a person who has a beautiful expression of love, because you can feel it. You can it's really tangible. Mm-hmm. But because of the way our society is constructed, you can get really off balance with that touch. So you find a lot of times in relationships that the person who is the touch person, who wants to have sexual relations a lot, which is there's nothing wrong with that, because you got to balance that out. What I think what happens is that some people, they will, if they don't get everything that they want in the relationship, meaning that if they can't touch that person in that intimate way as much as they want, they start looking someplace else. And they don't recognize that the reason why that's a drive, they think it's the other person causing them to have that that little emptiness or that unfulfilledness within them. But it's really you having to recognize what your love language is, because if your love language is touch, you have to recognize that, and you have to balance that, and you have to ask God to make sure that he gives you the proper way to express your touch, because any expression of any of your love languages that is outside of the character, the nature, and the will of God, it will always go wrong for you. I don't care whether it's touch, quality time, gifts. You can pervert, every one of us can pervert the gift that God has given to us. And he's given these gifts to us as precious promises and as a way for us to enjoy our life. Mm-hmm. But we can pervert it. And so touch, people that you have touched, you got to be very careful, because you're going to be more susceptible to infidelity. You're going to be more susceptible to, having those kind of, thoughts and frustrations, because you might not get that touch the way you want. And the person who is in relationship with them has to be very sensitive, because, touch might not even be on your radar, but you then have to elevate your sensitivity and your awareness so that you are able to see the beauty and the preciousness in that person who is a person of touch, and be able to reciprocate it back to them. So
you said a mouthful.
I did. I did.
Yeah, I think that there's some truth to what you're sharing about touch, but I believe that can be applied to every last one of the love languages as well. I mean, because if you're not getting encouragement, or you're not getting,
Absolutely.
It's always going to feel like a void. The difference is when your love language is touch and you are the toucher.
Right.
Then people can misconstrue, like you shared last week, then people can misconstrue that that touch as a come on.
Absolutely.
as an invitation.
Right. Right.
So
And you don't mean nothing. Touch.
Yeah.
That's just a hey.
I just want a hug.
Yeah. Like you, I'm connect. That's how I connect with you.
Right. And I agree that is you need boundaries. Mm-hmm. You have to have boundaries, and I think that society, our social environment, actually gives us those boundaries.
Right.
I mean, if I meet someone, my love language is touch. If I meet someone and we're just meeting, he's like gonna fix the AC, I don't hug him. Mm-hmm. That social environment has already taught me that that's not the guy you hug.
Right.
If I meet his brother, I hug him. Right. So I mean, we have those boundaries already put in our social environment,
sure,
in our family systems, and what we've been taught from children.
Right.
So, and the need is the problem.
Right.
Because these are love languages, but love doesn't really have a need.
Right.
Love needs nothing.
Yes.
So I think that's important. Mm-hmm. That once you're identifying that I mean, then you have to calm yourself and find out what the other person's love language is so that you can give.
Exactly.
Because the need part is always going to get us in trouble. It's always going to get us in trouble.
Absolutely.
Because then you are identifying that is higher than the person that you're actually trying to get love to.
Right.
And you can't ever do that. If words of affirmation and gifts, oh my gosh, if someone can't afford to buy you the gift.
Oh my God.
I mean, wow. So maybe it might not be that they buy it, or maybe it might be that they create something that is a gift to you, but it can't always be a need. Like, I need to have that diamond ring, or I need to, whatever that need might be. But girls like diamonds. So
I know. I mean, I know that some people that have have their love language as gifts. Again, I said it's not just they want you to give them something. They want your heart to be in it. They want it to be meaningful. They also want it to be what they want.
Yes.
The way they want it.
I'm about to say that
they're
what they want.
The gifts, and some people you can get very offended. I got somebody that's in my immediate life that I love very much, and this person, I could get offended by how they respond to gifts, because their response to gifts has so many dimensions, just like all of our love languages have so many dimensions. Mm-hmm. So there's these connective requirements that are part of our love languages, and so we have some insights and we have some clear requirements, if I would dare say. And so you can give, if you just give like a flipping gift to the person, they'll receive the gift, but that's not touching their love language to them. So you haven't fulfilled them in that. Right. And a person with gifts, again, everyone can have a negative connotation. A person with gifts, that their love language is gifts, people can think they're greedy. They can think, you never happy with, nothing that you get. You always, and so and this is the famous one. You so materialistic.
Well, being that is the love language, they are more susceptible to having the love of money.
Yes.
They are more susceptible because in order to get gifts, you need to have money.
Right.
So they're more susceptible to identifying money as an issue in a relationship.
Absolutely.
They're more susceptible to identifying that, oh my gosh, you need to make some more money because I need to have that. They
will stress themselves out, stress their partner out. Mm-hmm. And people, I'm sorry, did I cut you off?
No, it's fine.
No. So that's important because money is an issue in relationships, period, no matter what. Mm-hmm. But if either of you in a relationship, and if you have a gifts, your love language is gifts. You get to the point where you actually will equate the viability, the success, and the continuation of the relationship based on how you're relating to, and you don't even recognize it, to that need for gifts and giving. And I need a person that's going, a go-getter that's going to get us ahead. You'll use other words. Mm-hmm. You talking about all I asking for is a nice house. Now, it's nothing wrong with you wanting a nice house. It's really your expression. That nice house is how you experience love, and you feel love when that person knows that you want a house and they give you a house. But the house and the need for that cannot be greater than the relationship and the person that you're asking to give you the gift.
That's right. That's right. Because then it's inordinate affection.
It's inordinate affection.
It's put in the wrong place. And that, well, when we're talking about the gifts, you can talk about gifts being people that have that being more susceptible to the love of money.
Yes.
But at the same time, when you go to the other side, the words of affirmation, they're more easily manipulated. Because if you just need somebody to tell you how you are, how wonderful you are, or if you're not so wonderful or whatever, then when someone does that, can they manipulate you?
Absolutely.
I mean, young people who are susceptible to manipulation already, where their love languages, words of affirmation, can easily be convinced to do all manner of things because if someone tells them they're great, or if someone tells them they're not anything without them, they can be manipulated into that. So then having the need for someone's attention, having that need in any one of those love languages, you can see that having the need means that you're going to put it in the wrong place in your life.
Yeah, I mean, I love this. This is rich because we can keep going because what we're going to do is we're going to weave in and out of the different love languages. They posted it last week, so you can look at either last week's video, but somebody else, Tracy, one of you, if you can post where people can actually take the test for their love language. We, knowing our daughters' love language, we recognize that, and we saw this even before we knew what her love language was, but we recognize what Aisha was saying is that, and I just had this talk with her, knowing what her love language is, that you gotta be careful where you find your validation and where you find your approval, because if you don't do that, you can be easily manipulated. So let me check in with some of my family. Let me see who we got who came in. I see Mimi. My people from Pennsylvania came in. Mimi Day, Terry Pipkin Hunt. Okay, Terry Hunt. Good. Finally, I hope her husband is on here. Larry. I can't get Larry to come on.
And Laura.
Hopefully, Larry, he listening. He probably listening. And I see Laura. Yes, Laura's on there. Who else you see, babe?
Vicky Nolan.
What's Vicky saying?
You
Can you say it? I could.
Yes, you can, because each person you deal with doesn't have the same language, and that's inside. And what's inside you won't allow you to give that dominant piece if that person is not connected in that way. Interesting.
Right.
She's talking about whether or not you can have different love languages. Is that what she?
Yeah, I think. I think she's repeating the essential that we don't have the same language, and sometimes because of how connected we are to our own love language, it's hard for us to give that person what they need, because what's dominant in us is our love language, and what's in that other person, we're so focused on what we are in our love language that it's hard for us inside to recognize that our work in making a relationship successful is not to make that person and convince that person how they need to meet my love language. It's how I focus on making sure how I meet their love language. And that's the power and the beauty on there. I see A.B. Hurst joined us in there. Vicky said again, words of affirmation can help you soften a person. Yes, with a hardened heart, if they aren't used to hearing it. Yes. I mean, a person that has words of affirmation, it's very basic for them. Like
that's not hard.
They need they need encouragement. And some people say, well, why you need somebody to tell you, you did good for something you were supposed to do, but no, that's how they experience that you have love for them. That when you give them appreciation and you thank them and you tell them how important they are and how valuable they are, it creates this dynamic within them as far as love. And I'm getting ready to go back into this. Motivation in them. And then Donald Smoot came in, my young brother. Hey Donald, love you. I talked to Mike today. So yep, and I see Rhoda Blunt joined in, nice. And then mom said, when you're young, if you don't get love the way you need, you will feel left out. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. And that's why we're doing this, because we want we want everybody, young and old. Because I'm on the old side, y'all, by the way. But anyway, even though I look young, right? but I want our young people to really get this, because if you get this, it's going to definitely change your life, your dynamic. I see, I love those thumbs up and those hearts. And April said, Andrea, so true. Also, if a person doesn't get the love they need, they look for it in the wrong way and from the wrong person. Yeah. Now, that's interesting. Now, you ever heard the saying, I have a friend of mine who used to have this saying. I loved how he said this. He says, you trade in one set of problems for another set of problems. And so what we do is we believe that the answer is in going to the grass that's greener on the other side. Mm-hmm. But the grass is not greener. The reason why the grass is not greener, because the same person's walking on the grass. The same person is mowing the lawn. The same person is sowing the seed for the grass. So we believe that changing situations and changing people changes a dynamic, but it does not. So yes, if you don't understand how you are loved and how you receive love, it's absolutely hard for you to communicate that to somebody else.
Absolutely.
And if you don't understand how that person receives love, it's very difficult for you to know how to address it. Mm-hmm. And so you automatically start from a place of ignorance because you don't know that. Now, let me tell you, these are guides. I'm not saying this is the gospel Bible truth. I'm just saying to you that from my 30 years of experience in working with people and working with relationships, I'm telling you, it's a very powerful tool for you to get a good guideline. You're gonna hit the target. You're gonna hit the target. You might not bullseye every time. I think you bullseye more when you get more skilled, because if you would connect the skills with understanding a person's love language, it's gonna bless you. Vicky said, with that touch, if you don't understand that it is one of their languages, it can sometimes make you feel that person is too touchy-feely. You should have listened last week, Vicky. We talked about how people get they get accused of being too needy, too touchy. You didn't give me no space, because that person touches a very important part. And then if you're with a person, and that's why you need to do this even before you get into deep relationships. I think you need to talk about how you receive love, because if you're a person that is a touchy, affectionate person, and the person that you're with, like, they don't want no affection, like they're turned off by affection, that's going to be an issue. And if that person can't bring themselves to regulate, I was just fortunate that my wife is very affectionate and I'm very affectionate. So if she was not affectionate, if she did not have that touch, I like your touch.
Thank you, baby.
If she did not have that touch, that would be an issue that we would have to resolve in our relationship.
Yeah.
And I see Maya joined in. Hey, Maya.
Hello.
And Maya said, I agree. Yes, it motivates me when I am complimented. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. And there's nothing wrong with it. And some people try to say the person who has a love language of words of affirmation, you need other people's validation, and all you need approval. No, now you can pervert it to that you need it, as my wife talked about earlier, that you need that approval in order for you to feel confidence and understand your self-worth and your value. But if your love language is that way, that's how you receive love. That's when you know that the person said. And sometimes, and listen, everybody needs words of affirmation. Mm-hmm. Everybody needs somebody to say, somebody once in a while say, I love you, I appreciate you, Absolutely. Thank you. Everybody. But some people have a high degree of need for them to have that. So whatever your love languages is, you guys are on this. We're going to try to. I think we got what. We got like probably about 10 more minutes to go in. Just put in. Did I lose my connection? Okay, I got it. Okay, just put in. Give us your feedback about your experience, about your love language. And I see my brother Ray Charles came in. Hey, Ray Charles, good to see you, brother. Ray had a very good comment. He said, I travel a lot. Whenever I come across this live broadcast, I stop and listen. Aww. Because Mr. and Mrs. Laws do not just share love principles, they exude and live love. Thank you, brother.
Oh,
that's beautiful to hear from somebody who knows you and has watched your life over years. Mm-hmm. And I appreciate that feedback that you're giving. And Tracy just posted the love languages thing. So if you look at the feed, you can see where she shows the quiz that you can take for adults and for children. If you want the full, I think this is the short version, but if you want the full blown version, you have to go on their website, and I think that is probably connected to the website where you can get the full version as well. And I think it will bless you. Again, I tell you, I do it for my staff, my employees. It is so important to understand how people give and receive love. And I just see Stephen join, and that means Christina's not far behind. So nice, y'all. And I saw Joe jump in and he said, just water your grass. Joe's funny.
That's right.
Joe said, just water your grass. Like you spend a lot of energy trying to find grass that's greener on another side. And Joe said, please just water your grass. And I see the love. I see the thumbs up. You know, we love that. That lets us know whenever you hear us say something powerful, you hit that love. You hear something funny, hit the laughter. Thumbs up always keeps us knowing that you're with us. So
thank you for sharing the website, Tracy.
Yeah, that was powerful. Did you were about to say something?
No.
Okay.
But I can. Yeah, when we were talking about words of affirmation,
right?
And she was sharing it can soften a hardened heart. That is so powerful, and it's so true. That if a person has just decided to just give up and they just are discouraged, and it hardens a person's heart and makes them wax cold in a relationship. So you giving the words of affirmation can absolutely encourage them and soften their heart and melt that ice block. And also it is finding the good.
Right.
That's how you give words of affirmation, is finding the good.
But that's the proper way to do it.
That's the proper way to do that. You have to find what is precious about that person and give it to them. Share it.
Right.
With them so that they know that you're actually seeing inside of them and you're seeing the greatness that God has given them. I mean, I think that is I like that, love language.
Yeah, the word, since we're on words of affirmation and we talked about balance, the other parts of words of affirmation that you have to be careful with is that people that have words of affirmation as their love language, they tend to be very picky about words. Like words, how you say something, how you say it means everything to them.
Yeah.
And see, the lack of balance for that person who receives love in that way is that you can't put and rest everything on the way somebody says something,
right,
or the particular word that they use. And I see the laughter and the thumbs up. I know it's coming from it's coming from one of my people that got words of affirmation. Y'all, you know what I'm talking about. Words of affirmation people will spend an hour arguing about the word that you use or what you really meant by what you said.
Oh my God.
Now the person just told you, I didn't mean that. I'm sorry if that came across that way. That's not, but I can tell by the way you said it. And this ain't the first time you said it that way. Then they're going to they trying to reconcile them words. Like them words, I see the laughter, the big laughter coming up. They reconciling. I know Tracy up there, she cracking up. They trying to reconcile them words that you have given, and they have a recorder of the words that you've
Oh, yeah.
spoken over time.
They remember.
So they remember words. They remember how you said it and the way you said it, and it means something to them.
A lot.
A lot. So in finding balance as a person that has words of affirmation, you have to be very careful, because what you do is that you take away the time that is really allotted for somebody to give you the words that you need by you trying to haggle about the way they're doing it and how they're doing. Let them warm up. You know,
Or their word selection.
their word selection. They're gonna be slippery. Remember, you're gonna be very much better than them with words of affirmation, because you have that as how you receive love. So they might slip into it. They'd be like, baby, I mean, I really, dinner was really nice, and it was kind of
Nice.
late. It was
We mean
kind of
nice.
It was kind of late. I mean, we were kind of late tonight, but they said late. Oh my God, you on late? All I did that. So you will take offense, and you will be very sensitive to what people are giving you around words, and you have to. I see the laughter. They are cracking up on this one, and so that's good comments. Make your comments on that. So words of affirmation, like all of the love languages, you have to understand how to find the proper balance to it. Words of affirmation also, what I would say is that when you are getting those words of affirmation, you have to be careful that is not the only thing that motivates you.
Right.
Now, it's good that you feel love when you do that, but guess what? We got to do things past and through however we receive love. We got to sacrifice. We got to do certain things. So you cannot get in the habit of thinking you need those words to motivate you to do what you're really called to do, what God has asked you to do. And it's very hard when you have words of affirmation. It's not a fault. It's just something to watch out for. That when remember Jesus said that the Pharisees would go into the square and tell everybody, hey, I'm fasting. Look at me. Look how I'm fasting. They ring the bell. Hey, I'm putting money in. Now listen, people think, they just being braggadocious. No, they were people that had words of affirmation. They wanted people to say how wonderful and good it was that they were fasting. And because if you don't tell nobody you fasting, they can't really tell unless you get skinny or something. And if you put money in and you slipping it into the pot, people don't really know. So the balance, what you have to look out for, is looking for people to praise you and to be able to do things without a word, without a confirmation, without a thank you. That's what Jesus teaches us, that we have to be able to learn to do things without getting gratitude or getting somebody acknowledging us for what we do. Although, again, it's not wrong for you to want that. That's what I want you to hear. It's not wrong. It's not bad. You just have to balance it so that you can do both. I can receive, and I want people to know that that's my love language, but I don't have to have it in order to feel appreciated. I don't have to have it in order for me to continue what I'm doing. And
that's beautiful.
I dominated again, baby. I'm
beautiful.
sorry.
No, I mean, I think that's absolutely right. Once you step over that line, when we talked about the boundaries, there's got to be boundaries. It's great to receive words of affirmation, and everybody wants to be affirmed by people that care about them and know them. However, you cannot pass the boundary and use it as an excuse, to go past into a place of need.
Right. Absolutely.
Once you go into the place of need, then what won't you do?
Exactly. Because really, this is about us learning how to give and receive love. But we know the greatest of these is better to give than receive.
Yes.
And actually, the principle is when you give, you actually receive. Give, and it shall be given unto you. That's what is so hard. It's counterintuitive to us. We want to pull things to us to give me what I need. And the way you get what you need is to give what somebody else wants.
How about that?
And that's a drop the mic magic.
That is a magic moment.
So I see the love faces. I'm going to shout in a couple more people. Walter McNeil. Thank you, Walter, for joining in. Vicky said, yes, words of affirmation can be a lifesaver and a game changer. And Tracy said word to Vicky, saying, in words of affirmation, you have to also know when to use small affirmations and not long drawn out stories. Yeah. That's notice it says words of affirmation, not sentences and stories of affirmation. Now they'll take those stories, but what they really want is they want you to be able to give them these simple words of affirmation. They can be short, sweet, but they have to be true.
Yes.
For a person with words of affirmation, you cannot be phony with them. Like they have a radar of phoniness when somebody's speaking to them. Now, even though they're gullible, they are gullible on one side, but on the other side, they are insightful and they know whether your words are true and meaningful and heartfelt. And if it's not, most of them are going to call you out on it. And I see say that name right there.
Von
Nunetta, yeah, she said amen. Von Nunetta Johnson, thank you for joining us, Von Nunetta. You were my last comment for the day. Thank you all for being here. We thank you that you join us every Tuesday at 8:30. This has been wonderful. We could go on and on, but if you want some more of this, you have to join in next week. Don't forget, you got to follow me, Al Laws Jr. I'm going to be doing this series, and I love the hearts. I love the thumbs up. I love the laughter. Thank you all for showing your appreciation. I am doing this series on how to relate to your money. You don't want to miss it. And by the way, I say share, it's fair. So go to your left-hand corner right now, even though we're about to end, and share it out to all the people. Hit that share button and let people know you were blessed by this. When you join me and you follow me, you will get the series on how to relate to your money. You don't want to miss it. Go to YouTube, Al Laws Jr. on YouTube. Follow me. Go on Facebook, Al Laws Jr. Follow me. I'm starting this series in June, and I'm telling you, if you miss it, you are going to be so upset. Only my followers are going to get it. You might get some. I'm going to tease you with stuff. Like I'm going to send some teasers. You're going to say, oh my God. No, you need to follow me. And look, remember, we do this from our hearts. We do this for love for you. We want you to be successful in every area of relationship. Remember, these principles apply. So although we talk about relationship a lot because we really want marriages to be successful. We want couples to be successful. We think that's a very important thing to happen in this day and age. But we talk about children. We talk about relating to other family members. These principles work no matter what. You can use the same principles in that. And we do this every Tuesday at 8:30. We love you. Thank you for joining us. And we will see you same bat channel, same bat station. And what I always say on every Tuesday, I tell you about the knowledge, how we kick out the knowledge and give it to you. Where it comes from, I tell you, it's all in the socks. It's in the socks. It's in the socks, y'all. We love you. God bless.